You may have noticed a template section at the bottom of the portal below labels. So I did want to mention what templates are and kind of how they fit into the Azure Information Protection world. Templates are what Azure Information Protection is actually using to apply protection to documents. In the background, Azure Information Protection is making use of the Azure Active Directory Rights Management Service. That service has been around longer than AIP, and even though it's kind of part of AIP now, it's what Azure Information Protection uses when it wants to apply protection to a document. And the object within RMS that does that is a template. Now, when you create a label that applies protection or conditions, in the background, it's automatically creating templates to support that label's functionality. It's also possible to manually create templates using PowerShell, and you can also do things like edit existing templates by using PowerShell. It is possible to take an existing template and promote it to a label, and that just adds the label abstraction on top of the existing template. So for the template demonstration, I'm going to be using PowerShell to create a GrayJ template for highly confidential information, and that uses the AADRM PowerShell. So let's switch over to Visual Studio Code and see how we can do that. Alright, so here I am in Visual Studio Code, and I have a PowerShell script open called AIP Actions that's stored in the Module 2 folder. If you're looking for these scripts, you can always find them on my GitHub. I've put a link up on the screen. So if you remember from the previous module, in order to use the Azure Active Directory Rights Management module, you first need to get credentials to log in and run connect AADRM service. I've already done that, so I'm connected to the service. So the first thing I want to do is just get all the commands that have to do with templates. So I'm going to run get command module AADRM template, and that'll return all of the commands. Let me move that up a little bit. So you can see you can add a template, export a template, you can get one, you can get the properties of a template, or you can set properties of a template. If we'd like to get all of the existing templates, we can run get AADRM template, and that'll return all the templates that exist. Now if you remember, one of the labels that we created was HR comp, and now there is a template that corresponds to that label in here. You also remember that we deleted the life settlement group life expectancy label, but it didn't delete the underlying template that was providing protection, so we can clean that up now. To do that, we're going to run remove AADRM template and specify the template ID. So I'm going to paste that and grab the template ID and paste that down here. And now if I hit enter, that template has now been removed from the list of templates for the rights management service. Now, you may not want to clean up that template right away because some users might still be using that, but if you know that a template has been retired for a significant amount of time, this could be a way to clean it up. It is also possible to create a new template. So if you'd like to create templates that could be used by other labels, it's possible to create the templates ahead of time. In this case, I'm going to create a template for GrayJ that deals with highly confidential content. So in that, I've included the name, and the 1033 in the name refers to what language the name is in, because the names is actually a hash table. So you can have this in French or German or whatever languages you think need to be supported. Then in the descriptions, it's the same thing, also a hash table, and for the descriptions in English, I'm giving a description that it's highly confidential content. Then I'm going to create two rights definitions. One says that for the domain contosoned.xyz, everyone gets the right of view and export. Then the second definition says this user, J.O. McGee, which is Joshua McGee, gets the rights of owner to these documents, and he's part of the GrayJ group that was acquired. And then the last thing is to add this as a template. So I'm going to submit the name, description, how long will the license be valid for, so 5 days, the two rights definitions that I just created, and then set the status to published. And when you set the status to published, now the template is available for other people to use. Let's go ahead and select all of that and run it. There we go, that template has been added. Now if we go back to the portal and refresh our view, I can expand the protection templates and you'll see that the GrayJ highly confidential content is now available under protection templates.